What up, fellas? How you guys doing tonight, man? Eric in the building. What's happening with you, bro? Muhammad in the building. What's happening with you, bro?
On me.
Activate the Shave Line King.
You are now listening to Boomtown Beats.
Yo, what up, guys, man? How's everybody doing tonight, man? How's everybody doing tonight, man? I hope everybody is doing well. It's your main man, bro, the Shave Line King, back in the building, bro. And you know I'm feeling good. I'm up here feeling like a million gajillion bucks, bro. How do you feel? How do you feel out here? How do you feel out here today? Are you feeling good, bro? Are you retaining your seed, man? Are you out here doing what you're supposed to be doing? I hope you guys are, man. Listen, I want to tell you guys something very important, man. If I've ever done anything to you, okay, if I've ever done anything to you to make you mad at me, if I've done anything to you to make you upset, if I've done anything to you that hurts your feelings, if I've done anything to you that would cause you to not like me, to throw negative energy at me, to want to try to harm me, let me tell you something right now. First of all, that's not my character, okay? And I'm going to apologize if that's what happened between me and you, because I want you guys to understand something. That is not my character. That's never been my character, okay? I've been quite upright and forthright about who I am, okay? I'm a good person, okay? I help people. I talk about love. I talk about things that nobody else talks about. So nobody's going to come up here and try to tell me otherwise about who my character is, because I know who I always have been. I've always been this way, okay? And unfortunately, we're in a world today where a lot of people have just grown up totally different, man. A lot of people have gone through so much SHIT, okay? This is why it gets so hard, man, when you go on a spiritual journey of awakening and you really wake up and you understand that 99% of these things that are going on in this world that have to deal with people, it's not their fault, but yet they are so entrenched, they're so lost in the stuff and the programming that is taking part in their life that it makes it seem like it's an attack. And most people can only take so much before, you know, people fold and cave and give a reaction, okay? And I just want you to understand that if this has ever happened between me and you, that I apologize from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that people will forgive me, okay? Even if they don't, they don't. I'm putting it out there to let you know that that has never been my intention, okay? I'm not that type of a person, okay? Most of the time, people end up, you know, seeing sides of people because people are provoked, okay? People get provoked, and most of us, okay, and I mean most of us, 99% of us don't know how to handle that type of energy, okay? It takes us to go on this spiritual journey of life to learn about who we are, to be able to understand that we got to tame these inner demons, okay? And I've been doing this walk for over 7 years in my life of SR. And I want you to understand that SR is one of the main things that's going to help you change your life around. I've talked about this time and time again on this channel, and I just want to reaffirm with you guys on who I am, my position, okay, and how I conduct myself. And I want you to understand that I conduct myself in the most highest respects, okay? I have extreme confidence, all right? And I'm going to carry myself that way, and I try to represent myself that way. Okay, so I'm just proving to you guys that when you go on a walk like this, these are some of the things that are going to change in your life. Okay, and it's going to change for the better. And you're no longer be walking in this lifetime without trying to make right, okay, of things that you have done wrong. And this is all I'm trying to do because, like I said, the times that we are living in right now, okay, nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows. I want you guys to understand something. Okay, I really want you to understand something. We all have our opinions, and that's fine because that's what we're supposed to do. We're all supposed to have our opinions. We're all supposed to be figuring out life. But the one thing that I can promise you is there's nobody in this world, even the people who conquered the land, stole the information, okay, and rewritten history so far in their own liking, do not even know what is going to happen, okay? Because no one survives, okay? Every time the world ends, no one survives. So the simple fact that we are going around in the modern world and we're believing that we have the truth about life, we believe that we have the truth on what's going on down here, is something that I think you should take a deep second look at and understand that nobody knows, okay? But I want you to understand this, that times always come to an end, okay? This is proven. People just disappear after so many thousands of years and restart over all over again, okay? From the Stone Age on up to modern times. This is what we have been repeating in this cycle of life as human beings, okay? And I want you to understand that I have a deep intuition, as well as many other spiritual people, as well as many other people who are, tapped in that type of a way, are feeling this type of energy in 2026. Okay. We've been having a whole lot. We've been dealing with a lot as humanity here. Okay. I know most of us can say that we don't enjoy what we're doing here. We don't enjoy what got going on here. Okay. I know it. Okay, most of you, the young people, are going to people who are going to be blinded into believing that they enjoy this thing called life because they're still young. They still haven't had those, blindfolds removed off their eyes, where they actually get to deal in some real experiences and see how this life is not what they think it is. It's not peaceful, it's controlled. And one day you will see on how severely it is controlled and how your life is always watched, how you're always followed. Okay. Everybody knows, where you're at all times. This is the place that we live in. Okay. This is the modern times. And I'm just understanding that these are the times where, things could end. And I'm trying to make peace in my life. This is why I believe that everything comes into a certain time frame or a timeline in your life. And when you see people who are spiritually tapped in start to pull back from the world, go on semen retention and celibacy, start changing their life, start changing their diet, okay? And you start to see things in the outside world giving you all the signs that this world is not what we think it is anymore, okay? You'll start to understand that, the inevitable, what we all, really honestly wish for, because like I said, there's no one really happy down here. Nobody's really happy. We're forced to do so many things just to survive. Okay. This is where I'm trying to tell you, I can't be mad at everybody. All right. It took a lot of maturing. It took a lot of growing up for me to understand that most of these people have no idea what they're doing. Okay. They do not know what they do. All right. Because it's a program. It's the way we've been brought up, the way we've been raised. And for that reason, I can't be mad at people. All right. For, not understanding life, not understanding how to communicate. All right. And because of that, this is what we're dealing with in our modern times, you guys. Okay. We're dealing with a whole bunch of chaos, man. All right. And I just want you guys to understand that this is something that I would be wanting you guys to try to work on as well. Okay. You guys got to understand this, guys. Okay. We're living in those times, man. All right. Make sure everything's about you is right. Make sure your house and your family is in order. Okay. Make sure you're doing things for your highest good, your highest purpose, okay? Make sure you're evolving, because if you're not evolving, you're remaining stagnant. And this is not what we're not trying to do as a civilization of people, okay? We're trying to evolve, regardless if the powers that be are trying to hold us back, okay, from our own evolution. You got to understand we still have to fight. And I just want you guys to think about this, okay? I want you guys to think about all the stuff that we've been seeing take place in 2026, okay, already, all right? Understanding on where we're headed, okay, as a society. And things could be very dangerous out here, okay? And this is what I don't understand on how so many people out here seem to know all of this stuff that I'm talking about. There seem to be, an understanding about how serious life is, but yet and still so many people are unhealthy. Let me tell you guys something, okay? And I want you guys to hear me on this, okay? you guys got to understand that food is the number one thing that is being used against us right now. Okay? Food is the number one thing that is being used against us right now. And I see so many people out here just eating such bad diets. I see so many people out here with such a terrible lifestyle. Okay. I see so many people out here who don't understand that their time can be pulled at any minute. Okay. You got people walking around here indulging, overeating red meats. You got people walking around out here overindulging. Okay. Drinking too much caffeine. Okay. Drinking caffeine, 5, 6, 7 times a day. Okay. Then going home and drinking some soda pop. Okay. Then going home eating a tub full of candy. Okay. You got so many people out here that are living this type of lifestyle. And I want you guys to understand that if this is the case, if so many people that you talk to in the modern world that you try to help, that you try to give this information to, they don't hear you, man, but yet they're still unhealthy, what does that tell you it is going on in our modern day? That tells you that most of the people out here are under this spell, bro. Okay. And I want to prove to you guys that this is what is going on. Okay. People are under a spell. Okay. People don't understand that they're being poisoned. People don't understand that they are literally losing their lives every single time that they put something into their mouths. I told you guys, man. Okay. It's all about quality, not the quantity of the energy that you put inside of your body. Okay. And the food that I see that is promoted today that most of the people are eating, okay, they don't understand, okay, that they are just now created this environment inside of their body, which is going to manifest because most of the people out here seem to don't understand that this is real, that this is not a joke. Okay. This is why so many people are unhealthy. I see so many people walking around, guys. I kid you not, bro. I see so many people walking around out of shape. I see so many people walking around with the guts. I see so many people walking around with the heavy eye bags. I see so many people walking around with the acne all over their skin. Okay, I see so many people walking around, bro, with the stains all over their teeth. I see so many people walking around, man, okay, with the attitudes, with the up and down energy, with the inconsistency of character, okay? And these people are eating 99% processed foods. When I tell you, bro, that why is it so many people out here, okay, think they know what's going on, but they are unhealthy? And this is why there is an epidemic of sick people running around in 2026, and it's only going to get worse. They are using the food. Why you guys don't hear me, man? Okay? Why you guys don't understand this yet? Okay? You are a super efficient machine that requires the most efficient fuel source. And yet they got us out here putting oils, fried foods, dead carcasses, burgers, parasite foods, hot dogs, all sorts of sugar, okay, inside of our bodies. And you guys don't think that this is going to manifest into a disease. Man, let me tell you guys something. I have so many sick people in my family, bro. This is why I get on you guys, because I see it in my own family. And then I have to go out in the real world and I have to deal with so many people on the daily, and I see it happening to them. And everywhere I go, bro, it's one of these fast food places set up. Everywhere I go, bro, it's one of these coffee places set up. Everywhere I go, bro, it's some sort of food that is going to clog up your arteries, that's going to make you gain weight, that's going to give you disease, that's going to back up your colon, okay, that's going to make you sick, that's going to take away from your life. And so many of these people out here are working so hard in their 9 to 5s to achieve what we call this American dream, but they'll never be able to have that fully manifest because all of these people end up leaving this matrix way earlier than they should have, because they all thought that taking care of their diet was a joke. Okay. They all think this. And for the life of me, I can never understand on how I can see this manifesting on a person. And I being a caring individual, and I'm trying to help these people understand what it is that I see and what it is that I know about health and what I see manifesting in their lives. And yet, and still, these people will ignore the information and go on to live their lives as if not they're going to be tested here in the next few years, knowing that our food source has gotten significantly worse. Okay, we're now living in the era of synthetic fake meats that are put all in your grocery store. Okay. Most of the cheap foods that you guys eat at these fast food restaurants are synthetic meats. They're fake foods. Okay. Synthetic foods have a higher cancer rate than any other food that you put into your body. And this is what we are eating in the daily. We are being coerced to believe that we are eating healthy, okay, fresh food in all of these establishments, and it's simply just not the case. Okay. What I'm seeing is I'm seeing an epidemic of sick people. I'm seeing an epidemic of obesity. I'm seeing an epidemic of people, man, who are going into these doctors who are having all sorts of things removed out of their body because their body is no longer able to deal with all the toxicity, okay, that they have put inside of their temple, okay? They have literally, all right, taken so many people out based off of a diet. Okay, based off of how they use social media and they promote, okay, all the gluttony and the food and all the, all the mukbangs and all these different things, all these, influencers that they get to come on here and do all these ridiculous things that are influencing people to recreate that lifestyle in their own very lives. And this is what we're seeing in our society. And I want to bring awareness to you guys and get you guys to understand, like, listen, man, I know some of you guys mean well, okay? I know some of you guys mean well, okay? But I'm here to tell you on what is going to ultimately ruin your life, okay? This is the number one thing that is going to ruin your life. All that time that you don't worked, all those, hours that you don't put away to save money, to be able to, be able to finally purchase what it is that you want, finally be able to purchase that freedom, that time that you want to go and enjoy your life and have a vacation. And you don't seem to understand that this is going to be cut short by your choices that you're making every single day, cutting corners, thinking that this is something that you can just simply put to the side. Okay, this is the most important thing down here to be doing, because you seem to don't understand that we live in a matrix still. You seem to think this is a game. You seem to think that everything that we are telling you guys just isn't for real. Okay, I'm not making any of this up, you guys. This is where we live. These people do not care about us. They do not care about what's in your food. They do not care about what happens to you. Okay. Do you understand that all of us are walking around with price tags on our heads? Okay. All of us got some sort of insurance policy on above our heads. And most of you guys are walking around here just living a life like ain't nobody just waiting for you to slip up, man. Okay. And then you're going to end up in that system and you might not ever make it out. Okay. Just like many of my family members who were walking around arrogantly thinking that they can just eat and eat and eat and still continue to do the things that they've been doing for the last 10 and 15 years. And it finally catches up to them. Okay. I have so many friends that passed away, bro. Okay. From having heart problems. I've had so many friends that passed away. All right. From having problems with overeating, diabetes, okay, so many different things, okay, clogged arteries, okay, blood clots, all of these things is a result of what they were putting in their body for all these years, because they were believing that they could just continue to live this life that they have been doing since they were younger, not understanding that when they get older and times start to evolve, there's different things that start to evolve, as well as the foods and all of these other different toxins that we have to deal with in the modern times. We got to be understanding that taking care of our health is the number one thing that we need to be doing in our lives because of this very reason. Okay. And most of you guys get out there and you get lost. You get into the scenery, you get into the influence, you go to these restaurants and now you're caught up with the restaurant energy and now you're trying and eating all these different things that you know you shouldn't be eating. Listen to me, people. Listen to me. Okay. This is not a time for us to be indulging in that type of a lifestyle. This is a time for us to be very humble and understanding that we're going through a major transition. Okay. We've talked about what is going on here in this country. And anytime that we are seeing all of these different major things like the FDA and all these different things start to change hands and start to have different policies no longer be valid, okay, you guys really need to start taking a step back and understanding on what is transpiring here. Okay, the United States has been sold off. It has switched hands. Okay, the people who were once here, who had your best interest in some points, in some aspects, are no longer here. And this is why we are seeing the constant influx of garbage in our society. Listen, I can't go nowhere, all right, without a fast food somewhere. I can't go nowhere without a place selling somebody a burger and some fries, okay? Let me tell you guys something, man. That is going to kill you quick. That is the quickest diet that is going to kill you the quickest, is that damn fried food with them burgers and fries. And I know that's the number one thing that y'all eat out there. And you don't seem to understand that one day that's going to catch up to your heart, bro. Okay, you're gonna go into cardiac, man. You're gonna start having cardiac issues with your heart, all right, because of all of that meat, because of all of that oil, because of all of that toxicity that you are putting inside your body on the daily and not understanding the importance of health. Okay, I am here to give you guys the warning. Okay, my family members, my friends, listen, I just had my pastor, man. Okay, this is why I'm talking about this. I just had my pastor, okay, a pastor that's been a pastor of mine since I was younger. Okay, he's not even old. Okay, he's not even old. This is what I want you to understand. He's not even old. I just had a pastor of mine, okay, just had a heart attack. Okay, why do you think he had a heart attack? Why do you think I'm talking about this today? Why do you think he had a heart attack? He had a heart attack because of all the stuff that he was eating. He was eating all the meats. He was eating all the fried foods. And look how quickly his life turned around. Okay. Here's what I want. This is the biggest point I want to get to you guys, because so many are going to wait to this point, man. And this is what I don't want you to do. I want you to change your life early, man. So you don't have to be one of these people, man, who have gone through what they had to go through. Okay. My pastor, like I said, just had a heart attack. All right. His whole life has changed, man. Okay. Don't act the same. Don't look the same. Don't move the same. Don't talk the same. Don't have the same energy. Completely different person, bro. Okay. We're talking about completely rewire your brain in the areas of shock. Okay. Completely changing who you are from here on out. That's a hard lesson to learn from people who don't want to listen, man. Okay, about the truth about your diets and what you're supposed to be eating and how we're supposed to be doing things in moderation. But because of the society that we live in, man, everything is out there. Everything is out there for you to grab and purchase. It's all at your fingertips. We live in a society of instant gratification. And because of that, that is going to be instant DEATH for your ass, instant death. Okay, instant death. This is what you are manifesting with this lifestyle. Okay, let me tell you another quick story. There was a guy that I went and I played college football with. Okay, this guy's name was Eli. His name was Eli Marsh. He was a young dude, man. Young dude, bro. Football player, bro. Quarterback. He was a backup quarterback. One day he was gonna start. Okay, he was a smart dude, super smart, hella healthy, everything, man. Okay. I used to talk to Eli every single day. Okay. Eli was, like I said, one of the best quarterbacks that went through my college. Okay. One day, man, I went to class, man. Okay. One day I went to class. I had talked to Eli the day before. The next day I went to class, man. Eli ended up having a heart attack, bro, in school. Okay. End up having a heart attack. I'm talking about a dude that was in his 20s, man. Okay. I think he was like 23, 24 years old. End up having a heart attack. Okay. Based off of, we can't really go off of just, the diet alone, but from what we were told and what we were seeing is the diet, the things that this person was eating, okay, caused him to have heart issues, okay, which end up ultimately taking his life. And this is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. Okay. You guys got to understand this is what's happening to us in 2026. Okay. You have to take your life seriously. Okay. Nobody else is going to do this. You don't understand. Okay. There is a price tag over each and every single one of our heads. Okay. There is a price tag over each and every single one of our heads, every single one of us. Okay. That means, okay, when we get sick, when we can't speak for ourselves, when we end up in a system, okay, because of something that was diet driven, that brought us to that situation, okay, we are going to be a person, man, who is going to leave this world in one of the most probably worst ways possible. Okay. We're going to be laying down on a board. Okay. Having our insides cut open. Okay. And most likely be donated to other people. Okay. Because we decided to not take our life seriously. Okay. We only get one chance at this thing called life, man. Okay. We only get one shot. We only got one body. And let me tell you guys something. When you get a heart attack, okay, when your kidneys fail, when your livers fail, guess what, my friends? You're not going to be able to go down to your local hospital. You're not going to get pulled into the ER and you're dying, you're laying on that board, and they're not going to be able to tell you that they're just going to go downstairs into the freezer, get you a kidney, okay, get you a liver, okay, get you a heart, okay, get you anything like that, all right, to save your life. This is what you don't understand. Okay. And because of that, not being aware of that and living in this system, okay, you're at a high possibility for being one of these people who end up leaving this world in a very uncomfortable way. Just like many people who are right now, okay, in this very situation, just awaiting their exit of this world. They're sitting there in pain. They're sitting there wishing that they were in your shoes right now, that they could go back right now and they were in your shoes while they were still healthy, while they were still had time to fix all of their things in their lives so they wouldn't end up in the situation that they're in right now. You can go down to a hospital right now and they're going to be full of these people, okay? Full of these people wanting a second chance. This is why I'm telling you guys to understand the importance on what I'm telling you and understand that it's this system that is doing this to us. This is not a coincidence. This should give you some serious awakening and some serious awareness to really start looking into the choices that you are making with your diets, because you are next, I promise you, okay? And you could be getting up every single day thinking you're all right, and tomorrow could be your day. Okay, tomorrow could be that day. Tomorrow could have been that, today could have been that last burger that you ate, them last fries that you could have ate, that you go to sleep tonight, and tomorrow you're going to wake up, okay, and you're going to start having all these issues from here on out, okay? You guys got to understand, we got to get smarter. We got to get back to doing things for ourselves. We got to stop leaning on this outside world. Go outside with your own two eyes. Look what's all around you. Look at the food that they are feeding you. Look at the things that you're putting inside your body on a daily and ask yourself, how much longer do you got? How much longer is your body going to be able to run, understanding this is the gamble that you're playing with? You're not even eating real food. We don't even eat real food here in the States. We're eating foods that is going to guarantee us a drastic decline in health. And that means everybody. That means even the people who got the money. The people who got the money are going to have to import. The people who got the money are going to have to leave this country to get these types of things. So everybody else that is here, we're all in the same boat. I'm trying to get you guys to understand that this is not a game, okay? And there's going to be some major consequences for us in this near future based off of what society is doing in the direction that they're moving in all these synthetic foods, okay? You're not eating anything that is benefiting your body, okay? You are a guinea pig at this point. And it's a matter of time, okay, before some of these things, like I said, start to manifest as disease in our body. I already see it. I already see what's going on, okay? I've already had it happen to me, okay? This is why I am so passionate about health. Let me tell you guys something. So we just sat there and we talked about all the stuff that is in the food, okay? Now I want you to understand And I told you guys this a few streams ago. I want you to understand, how many things do you eat on the daily? How many times are you eliminating waste out of your body? And a lot of you guys are going to sit up here, be bashful, be in denial, not keep it real about your health. Okay. And you're going to be able to sit here and ask yourself this question and understand, man, that you're in that red zone. Okay. You're in that probability zone, okay, of this happening to you in your near future. If you guys understood, like I said, all the meals that you put inside of your body, okay, every single meal that you've eaten, I want you to understand this, every single meal that you've eaten, and some of you guys eat some of the nastiest foods on the daily. Okay. This is, I cannot make this up. Some of you guys are just gross, bro. Okay. Some of you guys eat some of the most nastiest foods out there, and you don't understand the repercussions that are going to come with that food. All you can think about is how good it tastes. All you can think about is how good it smells. And the last thing that you can think about, bro, is what it's doing inside of your body. Okay. When I tell you that everybody out here has parasites, number one, believe me. Okay. Okay, I'm willing to bet you anything that you want. You come to my channel right now. If you got some money, come in the chat right now. Tell me you're a meat eater, and tell me that you don't have parasites, and let's bet how much money you want to bet. How much money do you have to bet? How much money are you willing to lose? Okay, because I promise you, every single person that comes up in the chat that eats that diet has them. Okay, so if that's the case, I want you to understand that you have backed up waste inside of your body, because what do parasites do? Okay, they steal the nutrients, they steal all of the good stuff out of the food. This is why the food gets backed up. This is why you get constipated. This is why certain foods don't get excreted, okay, out of your intestines, because the parasites get to them. They back it up. This is how they cause sickness. This is how they cause bloating. This is how they cause excess weight. This is how they cause all sorts of things inside of your body, okay? And most of us, like I said, 99% of us, to be exact, have these inside of our body. Let me tell you guys something that I do, okay? And I'm going to put it to perspective to you on how toxic you are, okay? I don't care what you eat. If you eat any of those things, you eat anything from a grocery store, you are full of toxins, okay? And I mean unbearably stankiest toxins that are going to come out of your body when you start to detox the right way. I'm telling you on what is going to happen to you. Okay. We are full of these parasites. We are full, okay, of backed up waste. The average American, okay, there's a statistic that you can Google yourself. The average American, that means you. Okay. That means somebody who's not a super athlete. All right. Somebody who's, in food, perfection. That's not us. Okay. We're the average person. The average person out here has average of 5 to 10 pounds of undigested foods and fecal matter in their intestines. Okay. This is the average person. That means every single person. That means you. Okay. When I went to a hydrocolon therapist, okay, this is where I first started learning so much about this type of thing. When I went to a hydrocolon therapist, okay, I learned about this. Okay. I was put on a machine where the machine would pump you full of water. Okay. And this warm water, it would be a pressurized like push through your colon, through your intestines. So what this water does is it goes through all of your intestines. We sat here and we talked about how long our intestines are. We hear so many different various numbers, 40 feet, 50 feet, regardless of how long it is. We understand on how long our intestines are, how windy are, how many small cracks and crevices that we have in our intestines. And what this water does is it comes through pressurized and it cleans out your intestines. And when I tell you that I was a vegan, okay, for 7 years when I went in and had this process done, and I still had all of these different crazy things come out of me, as well as backed up fecal matter, parasites, you name it, okay, that were coming out of me. And I'm eating a clean diet that does not support the life of parasites. To imagine on what it is that you have inside you, okay? When I tell you, I don't care who you're not going to be in denial. Everybody in here has them, okay? And some of us have them really bad. Some of us have them. Some of us have never done a deworming and never have removed these things out of our body. When I tell you, if you've never done a deworming and you have been eating these foods for all of these years, you have some full grown entities that are inside of you, okay? And it's nothing to be scared of. You're not going to have like some snake come up out of you. It doesn't work like that. They're not built like that. Okay. We're talking about worm type like entities, all right, that have been surviving in your mucosa, okay, for years, because all of us eat this diet. All of us eat the diet that causes us to have mucus. Okay. We eat the potatoes. All right. We eat the pizzas. We eat the breads. All right. We eat the sugars. All of these things cause the mucus. And this is what protects these parasites. And this is why they're able to evade you, detoxin. This is why they're able to evade sometimes antibiotics, because you guys don't seem to understand that these things have evolved. And so many of us are filled with these things. And all I want you guys to do is to understand that I'm not telling you nothing that isn't true. I want you to really dive in to seriously detoxing your body and see what I tell you. I detox every other day. Do you guys hear me, man? I detox every other day. I haven't eaten meat in years. I detox every other day. And guess what? I am still having things come out that I'm just like, what in the hell? Okay. To this day. All right. And what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is that you have a huge journey ahead of you as people. Okay. Do not wait. Do not sit around. Do not play games. Understand that everything that is taking a place in your body right now, okay, whether that be from, symptoms of being sick, extra weight, okay, maybe skin problems that you can't heal, who knows? All of the things that fall up under those symptoms are due to these parasites, okay? They are the number one cause of all the harm in our body, okay? And I'm just trying to get you guys to understand that this is not a joke, okay? And I want you guys to seriously take your health seriously moving forward in 2026. Okay, you should be detoxing your body every other day, especially if you're one of these people who are eating the modern food. If you're eating the modern food, you got to keep it real, man. If you're eating the modern food, you should be detoxing every other day. If you're eating these meats and these seafoods and all this stuff, you should be detoxing every other day. Okay, we're talking about these certain parasites lay thousands to millions of eggs every single day within inside you. Okay, every single day within inside you. Okay, you can pretty much guarantee that we all have them. And all I want you guys to do is understand that this is causing you tremendous stress on your body. This is causing tremendous stress on your immune system. This is causing you to age faster. This is causing you to have mental problems. This is causing your body to break down because they are literal vampires. Okay, these things suck blood. Okay, they attach onto your insides. They have teeth. If you look at them under a microscope, they look like literal demons. Okay, I'm not making any of this up. You look at them under a microscope, they look like literal demons. And you have thousands of these things. You have millions of these things in your intestinal tract, in your, in your some of your organs. Okay, they're everywhere, depending on what you've been doing for your whole life. And most of us are on, like I said, the SAD diet, the standard American diet. So this means most of us has them. So this is all I'm trying to tell you guys as far as this health thing goes. I want you guys to understand that this is serious. Okay, this is really serious, man. And The faster that you stop playing around with this part of your life, the faster that everything else is going to take off for you. And I mean spiritually too. Okay. The best thing that you can do for overall wellness and health, okay, spirituality, mental health, okay, is to be eating clean foods that your body actually recognizes, okay, that have no side effects to them, like eating meats. Yes, meats has plenty of benefits, but it has a lot of side effects. I challenge you guys to stop putting the garbage inside of your body just for a few weeks, just for a few months, and see that I'm telling you the truth. Get on a serious detox. Start cleaning out your colon. Okay. Start eating all of the different, herbs out there that are going to help you detox these entities out of your body, and watch how your life change. Watch how you start to look better. Watch how you start to feel better. Watch how your hair starts to grow back. Watch how you have so much energy. Watch how you'll never ever have brain fog. Watch how your whole attitude changes about life when you get these invaders out of your body that all of us have come so accustomed to living with that we have forgotten that they're even there. Okay. Until someone brings you the awareness to understand that this is the number one cause of all diseases. And guess what? Since you've never identified the problem, you've never worked on the problem, you are a walking manifestation of a disease inside of your body. Okay. This is the fact. This is why we all end up in the same place. This is why we all end up with the same diseases. All right. And all I'm trying to do is make you guys aware of it. So next thing I want to talk to you guys real quick, man, is I want to talk to you guys about, if you found a good woman, you got to keep her. Okay. If you found a good woman, you got to keep her, man. Listen, man, bro, things are not good in 2026, bro. Things are not good in 2026. If you're out here messing around, if you're out here sleeping around, if you're out here throwing around, being loose with your energy, bro, okay, you might end up catching something, man. Okay. And I don't mean it just in the physical. I mean it just in the spiritual as well. Okay. There's a lot of negative things going on out here. There's a lot of crazy stuff that we're being shown on the TV. Okay. Everybody out here, man, it just seems like everybody out here is trying to be somebody else. Ain't nobody out here trying to be who they are truly and authentically. Okay. And if you have somebody out here that's been in your life, somebody out here that's been riding with you, somebody out here that has had your back since day one, and you got to be real about this. See, so many of us guys out here are not going to be honest about this. We're not going to tell the truth, bro. That's just like, we got something that we enjoy. We got something that gives us good feeling. We got the best drugs in the world. Okay. When you're a depleted Coomer, that's what you think. You got the best drugs in the world. So you're not going to jeopardize your drugs. Okay. All right. For something that that is probably going to be bad for you. Okay. You're not going to jeopardize it. You're going to keep going along with it. And this is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand, man. Okay. This is not a time to be playing around out here. Okay. Let me tell you something about some women. Okay. I have never had an experience of what I like to call a good woman. Okay. And I'm not trying to say there's not good women out there. Okay. I know there's good women out there. I've seen so many women in so many relationships. I've worked with women who've been in relationships who I was just like, man, I wish I could be with that girl. Okay. Most of the good women, bro, have been taken off the shelf by, people that can, give them a lifestyle that, is pretty much unmatched. And this is where most of your good women are. Okay. When I say that, if you have a good one, you better keep her. You better believe me what I'm telling you, man. Okay. Because the society that we live in now, man, like I said, man, she could be here today and she could be gone tomorrow. Okay. I remember growing up, man, okay, and first dealing with love and dealing with a woman. And my first experience was high school, 9th grade, okay, when I really started to understand and learn, man, on, how a woman, can really break you down if you let her, okay, or how a woman can really, tear apart your life if you let her. And I remember, man, dating this girl, one of the first girls that I dated, bro. And I remember being young and dumb, and it was the first time I was being intimate. You know, I was learning a lot about myself then. I was learning about who I was. Okay. I'm a young man. Okay. I didn't have no discipline then. I didn't know about SR then. I didn't know about, how to treat a woman, and I didn't understand that you can't talk to other women and do all these other things. I didn't understand all that then. I was a young man. Okay. And when I remember getting in the first relationship of a girl that I actually really loved, okay, I remember being in a relationship with her and going on a vacation. And when I went on a vacation, there was a chick there who accompanied us on this vacation. And if you want to know the truth, I really believe that this chick came on this vacation to try to get me to do something with her, because this whole time that I was on this vacation, this chick was in my face 24/7. Okay, 24/7 in my face. Wherever I went, she was in my face. Okay, every time that we end up going into the apartment for the end of the night, she'd be in my face. Okay, she'd be drinking some liquor. Okay, wearing her lowest cleavage shirt that she could wear. Okay. Now, this is my first time experiencing with something like this, because I was my first girlfriend. Okay. I didn't understand that when you have something good going on for you, that other women will come and seek and try to sabotage that. This was my first experience with something like this. Okay. Because I didn't know any better. I was still young. I didn't know any better. This is my first girlfriend. Okay. I didn't know how to treat no women. I didn't know what to expect and what to watch and look out for. So, like I said, I went on vacation, and this girl was all in my face. And we ended up getting drunk, like, I want to say a week before I was supposed to go back home. We ended up going to Mexico. We were in Mexico for like 3 weeks. We flew down to Puerto Vallarta. We were in Mexico for like 3 weeks. And this girl, like I said, the whole time, she was on me, and I really honestly fought her off for, pretty much 2.5 weeks, except for that last week. Like I said, she ended up showing up in our hotel room, and we all got drunk, and she, we were laying down on the floor, and we're all sitting there talking drunk, sitting there spinning, and you know what goes on from that point. Okay. And the point I'm trying to make up this story is I'm trying to get you to see on how, if you got a good woman, you should keep her. Okay. Because this is how this usually goes. So I was with this, like I said, I was there, and we're laying on the floor, and we started kissing, and we started touching, and it didn't go any further than that. Okay. It was kissing and touching. It was me kissing her, me touching, the normal things that guys do: touch the chest, touch the butt, that's what we did. Okay. It was nothing more than that. Okay. I ended up going home that next week. That next week, I ended up getting home. I returned back home to my girlfriend. And the very first day of school, that girl, okay, that I told you accompanied us with us on our vacation, that ended up, was basically in my face 24/7 trying to get me to do something with her. Okay. Couldn't wait to get back to the school and go and tell my girlfriend that me and her made out and I rubbed on her chest. Okay. And what ended up happening was, the girl that I had been dating, my first girlfriend, the first girl that I believed that I loved. And again, I'm not making any excuses for what I had going on back there. I'm just telling you guys the facts of what was going on. Um, this happened. And when that happened, she ended up breaking up with me. Now, here's what I want you to understand, okay, from all of this, okay? This is why I'm saying, if you have a good girl, you should keep her, okay? Now, after this situation had take place, okay, here was this girl that I was with, okay? I took her virginity. She took my virginity. We were each other's first, okay? I want you guys to understand that. We were each other's first. She took my virginity. I took her virginity. And after all of this happened, okay, after all that happened, the girl went and told her. She ended up breaking up with me. Okay. And when she ended up breaking up with me, she ended up going off. Okay. And just end up sleeping with different random guys. Okay. She started, bro, listen to me. This is one of the hardest lessons that I had ever learned because I really liked that girl, and because of what I did, this was the result. I want you to see on how this can totally change. Okay, if you're not careful. Okay, this is why if you have a good one, just stay with her, bro, because this is the karma. Okay, this is the the results of you messing something up with something that you were probably supposed to be with. So she ended up sleeping with a whole bunch of my friends. Okay, I'm not even kidding you, bro. She was so mad at me that and here's the thing. I didn't again, I'm not making any excuses for what I did. Okay? I told you what I did. Okay? I'm telling you the honest God truth. I did not have intercourse with that girl. Okay? I kissed her. Basically, she was trying to kiss me, so I need to call it the way it is. She was putting her tongue down my throat. And I end up, filling on her chest. Okay? That was it. And the girl, my girlfriend, ended up breaking up with me, and from that point on, she went on a rampage in her life. She started sleeping with just random people. She started sleeping with some of my friends. She literally, and I'm not even making this up, I'm telling you the swear to God truth. She literally ended up sleeping with four of my friends, like literally right off the bat. Okay. And that hurt. Okay. That hurt a lot. Okay. Because she just, like I said, she just, this is how I know though, at the end of the day, too. Like I said, man, I love women. I really do. But my experiences with women and how quick, something can change and how quick, a woman could switch up on you, it just kind of scares me away from wanting to deal with women. This is why I enjoy being single. This is why I enjoy being me, because I learned some heavy lessons very young. And don't get me wrong, what I did, there's no excuse for it except that I was young and dumb. Okay. I told you what it was. It was my first girlfriend. It was ninth grade. All right. If I would have never went to Mexico, that would have happened. But for the simple fact that I went there and that happened, and this woman told her, and then she went and started sleeping with all my friends, should show you guys on how serious it is on what I'm telling you. Again, here's this girl that, she didn't like anybody else. She was all about me. Who knows how long that would have lasted? Okay. I'm not trying to sit here and say like, our relationship was perfect and she probably would have never done what she would have done. But what it's showing you is it's showing you on how things can go sideways real quick in a relationship. And the reason why we are doing what we're doing as far as retention. Okay. Because she literally went out there and she slept with four of my best friends right off the bat. Broke my heart, dude. Okay. Had one of my best friends, bro, that we hung out every single day. Okay. She knew that we hung out every single day, and then she went and found him, and then she got him. She started sleeping with him. And then when she started sleeping with him, he didn't want to be my friend anymore. He didn't hate me. Okay. He didn't hate me, but how are you going to come around me and you're sleeping with my girl that I was just with? You know what I'm saying? And this is what I dealt with early on. And this is how I really started to look in my life. And I said, you know what? If I ever get a good girl again, I'm going to keep her. Okay. If I ever find a good girl again, I'm going to keep her. And the same thing kind of happened to me later on in college, except then what happened at this point is, I had to kind of almost the exact same thing happen. Okay. I end up getting in college, except at this point in college, it wasn't kind of set up the same. Basically in college, I was leaving college. So my 12th grade year, okay, had been with this girl for almost 3 years, okay, through college. My 12th grade year, I wanted to leave the state. I wanted to go explore. I wanted to go and make it in a different state. And this is where I end up moving to New York City because I wanted to go to New York. Okay. I was previously a runway model. I had done all sorts of things. And I wanted to go to New York because I figured I could make it really big in New York based off of my talents. And this is where I had to make a hard decision. I had to make a hard decision because that girl that I was with for 3 years, who I honestly wanted to stay with, I didn't see a reason for us to ever break up, except for the reason that I would be leaving that state, and she was still in college. She had 2 more years of college left, and I was going to be done with college. Okay, so what ended up happening was the girl who wanted to move to New York, okay, me and her ended up going and getting an apartment in New York. And basically what ended up happening to me is I just wasn't forthright. I just wasn't up front with the girl who I was with about what I was doing. I didn't know how to explain it to her. Again, I go back and I blame this on maturity, okay? Because again, I'm proving to you that I wasn't a grown man. I wasn't a real man during this time of my life, okay? So I made the decision to move with her to New York based on I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do anything in that small town that I went to college in because there's absolutely nothing in that small town. And I was over, 400 miles away from my hometown, meaning I would have to move back home, and I didn't want to do that either. So I really wanted to go to New York. So what I'm getting to with this story is I end up having to make another decision to almost do the same thing, where essentially I did cheat, but I don't really look at it as I was cheating blatantly like I did with the first girlfriend, because at this time I knew the relationship was over because I was leaving it, because I was going to a different state. But the only thing is I didn't handle it in the appropriate way because I didn't know how to just disconnect from a woman that I had been with for 3 years, and just cut it off and just be able to go and live in another state. So I did what anybody else would try to do. I tried to keep a long distance relationship while keeping the woman that I moved there with at bay. I wasn't interested in her like that. So I was trying to keep this long distance relationship because I honestly never wanted to break up with that girl in the first place. Okay. I'm telling you the honest to God truth. Okay. So what ended up happening was when we got to New York, the same thing that happened, okay, with my first girlfriend happened with this girlfriend. Okay. The girl that I was living with was investigating, seeing that I wasn't feeling her like that. So there was not intimacy. There was not closeness. Okay. There would be times where I would disappear and I would be on the phone for hours. And she saw that. Okay. And she made it her obligation to travel back to, Washington State and to tell my girlfriend about the situation that I was in. And that whole thing caused, like I said, another problem in my life. Ended up losing somebody that was very close to me based off of me not being mature and understanding on how I should be handling relationships. Okay. And again, this is one of those things where I'm trying to tell you, like, if you have a good girl, you should keep her, because this is the last, I believe, the last good girl that I have had. Okay. I wasn't saying that this woman was perfect, because every woman that I had been with had some sort of issues, but this woman was the best match for me at that time. Okay. Because we were just good energy, good vibes. We didn't fight. Okay. We actually loved each other. We were together for 3 years. Okay. We had the same hobbies, the same likes. And I traded that for something that I had no idea about. And because of that, I ended up living this whole life of karma. Okay. I ended up being with this person for 15 years. And it wasn't because of 15 years of a successful, happy relationship. It was more like 15 years because it was riding off of the last relationship that I was still trying to make up for in so many words. Because right when I broke up with her, and after all of that happened and she started to hate me, okay, She told me that she just hopes that I treat my next girlfriend better than I did her. Okay. And from that time, I've been living on this mantra that I'm going to treat the woman that I was currently with better than I treated that woman that I loved in college. And this is what I did, hence why our relationship lasts for 15 years. Okay. For you to understand on how a relationship will last for 15 years, okay, was going to tell you on how much effort and work someone put in. Okay. That is just, it just doesn't happen. Okay. There's anyone who will tell you a 15-year relationship that takes a lot of work. Okay. And essentially that's what I used to keep myself going. Okay. In a positive direction. Okay. Even though, I just knew that relationship wasn't the one for me. Okay. So all I'm trying to get you guys to see at the end of the day is based off of what has happened to me alone. Okay. And seeing the way that women can conduct themselves, man. Okay. If you don't have the right woman, okay, who's to even say that first woman that I was with was the right woman? I mean, it seemed like she almost had something like that built up inside of her. And at any given moment, anything that I could have done, that was something that was just being released, ready to come after her, because after she did that, she never was the same ever again. Okay. As a matter of fact, she, for a short period of time there, got a reputation. Okay. As, somebody that's, she wasn't easily obtainable, but she was somebody that was very sought after, that was now, easily, approachable now that she wasn't in a relationship, and she started giving average guys shots that she would have never given in any other day or any other circumstance. And this is all I'm trying to prove to you guys at the end of the day. Okay. You guys take this lesson, man, as something serious, man, and apply it to your life, and understanding like this is the reason why now I am so gung ho about retention, because of my experiences in life, the things that I have learned. Okay. What the possibilities of dealing with someone, man, that has not worked on themselves. And so many of you guys out there, like I said, are signing up for the very first thing that comes through that door. And what you don't understand is, man, you have a whole bunch of stuff that's coming for you in store. Okay. You have a whole bunch of things that could, break you down and tear you apart as a man if you're not careful. And this is what I'm trying to show you guys. If you do have her and you are lucky enough to have her, keep her. But see, here's the thing. Like I said, most men do not have her. Okay. Most men are going to go through a situation like I have just explained. Okay. You're going to go through a situation, man, where a woman is going to end up, okay, doing you wrong. Okay. Cheating on you, using you, and abusing you. Because we don't seem to understand, man, that we can't just be out here and just sleeping with anyone. Okay. It's very, very slim pickings out here in 2026, man, to be able to find someone who you truly, honestly, and authentically resonate with. Okay. This is just what I have been. This is what I have been seeing for my last 7 to 8 years. Okay. And then I end up getting in another relationship shortly after that. And the same thing manifested again. Okay. It wasn't no cheating. It was I end up getting cheated on. Okay. So all I'm trying to prove to you guys at the end of the day, man, is again, if you have her, okay, if you do have a good girl, congratulations, man. Hold on to her. Okay. I'm not trying to say that you won the lotto, because that would be something that I'd be making up. Okay. I understand that every relationship takes a super amount of effort. Okay. Honestly, to the degree that I'm not willing to put out right now. Okay. I'm not willing to go through all that right now. It's a reason why I'm single. It's a reason why I want to remain single. Okay. It's not that I can't go out there and find a woman, or I can't go out there and find some company. But again, my experiences, the things that I've gone through, the lessons that I have learned all about karma early on in my life. Okay. And I understand now the importance, okay, of, finding someone and strictly being with that person. All right. And then until you work on yourself and you go on a celibate, a semen retention journey, it's only going to be the point where you understand on what I'm telling you. Okay. Because you're not going to be in a rush out here to, bring yourself some drama. Okay. Bring yourself some chaos to the peace that you have in your life. It's just not worth it at the end of the day. My man Jim in the building, appreciate you for being up in here. How you doing tonight, brother? My man Patrick in the building, I see you, Patrick. Appreciate you for being up in here, man. Appreciate you coming in here tonight, brother. Jordan in the building, appreciate you for coming up in here tonight, my man. Facts, bro. Steven said, I just stopped caring about what others do to themselves. People are literally worshiping Satan in front of our faces and acting like it's normal. You said it, bro. And I'm at a point, Steven, man, like I said, you can see how my tone has changed. My message has changed. I've told you guys everything that you needed to know. If you've watched my videos, if you've been a person that actually has tuned into my content and watched my videos, you're going to see that I've told you things that nobody else on YouTube has told you or you have discovered yet. Okay. I've helped you guys see, man, what is going on out here. Okay. And I've been knowing that for a while. All right. And now that this is something that is going on like this, man, like I said, it makes retention that much more important of a practice to me. Okay. And the reason why I'm not out here gambling around, because one of my last relationships, as Steven said, I learned again the hard way, okay, about, bringing the wrong person into your life, all right? It's not worth it at the end of the day, you guys, all right? If you, like I said, if you do have one, congratulations, good for you. But most of us think we got something and it's not there for the long term, okay? I can pretty much guarantee you, bro, everybody that we see with some kind of woman, okay, over the next few years, it's not going to be like that. This is just a pattern that we see. Everybody that has a so-called significant other, okay, ends up breaking up, ends up getting divorced, something ends up happening, she ends up leaving him, bro. There's nothing that ever stays consistent. It's rare that you find that, okay? We see more people fighting. And let me tell you something. If you already having arguments, if you're already having disagreements, if you're already having anything like that early on in your relationship, listen, I'm not talking down on anybody's relationship. I'm just telling you to be a realist and to be ready for what's going to come in the future. Okay. If you're having any of that type of stuff already in your relationship, man, that relationship's not going to last. You got to be real with yourself. But like I said, most people don't want to be real with themselves. Most people are delusional and they will continue to ride that wave until it destroys them. I've seen it, man. It's happening. It's happening with me. And all I'm trying to get you guys to do and understand at the end of the day that we got to make better decisions. Okay. And if you're lucky enough to have a good girl, congrats, man. But guess what? It's still going to take a lot of effort. It's still going to take a lot of energy. It's still going to be very draining on you. It's still going to be a huge liability. It's still going to be a huge responsibility because you got to understand, okay, you are going to be one to evolve as a man. You're going to be one to go on your spiritual route. And the worst thing that you could possibly do is to have a partner that is attached to you that does not want to achieve the same things that you want to achieve, okay? This is where things get ugly. This is where things do not become fun. Okay. And this is why, like I said, I avoid, relationships just because of this. Okay. Until I meet that person, we keep saying that. We have to say that. There's nothing else that we can really say. Okay. Every day I'm hoping to meet that person. Okay. But again, if I'm going out there and I'm searching for it, okay, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. I'm supposed to be continuing to work on myself, focus on myself, become my best version. Okay. Continue to do my work. All right. And the right person will be attracted to me. Okay. But we're all in a rush because of the instant gratification of society, because the way social media is set up. We believe that everything is just at our fingertips. We believe that we could just go out in these streets and bring someone into our homes, let someone into our bodies, okay, to whom we've just met, okay, without vetting them, without, putting a lot of time and effort and energy into really seeing if this person is going to be the right person for us. And most of us don't do that. All right. And this is where things become big trouble. Okay. Especially as a young man having a young woman. Okay, like I said, that's going to become a huge liability. It's going to become a huge responsibility. Okay, you're now having to look out for this person just like you looking out for yourself. It's almost like looking out after someone younger. It's almost like looking after someone, who can't look after themselves. I'm not saying that they can't, but you got to understand that as a man, your security and the things that you do, okay, are a whole different priority level than that's of that woman, okay? And this is where disagreements come in. Again, all the stuff that I'm sitting here telling you should already know, because these are all of the responsibilities that come with being in a relationship. And it can be very draining. And this is why I'm trying to encourage most of you men out here to understand, man, that there's more to life than that. There's more to life than the ball and chain. There's more than life, bro, than being sat down and tied down to one area of your life without any growth, okay? Having to elevate somebody else with you along your journey, okay? That can be very tiring. That can be very, very, draining on you. And like I said, if you have a good one, more power to you. But this is where I'm proving to you that most of you guys don't have this person in your life. Okay. Most of you guys have something that's going draining on you, that's pulling your energy, that's, keeping you stagnant, okay, in life as far as growth goes, because you're now trading that, okay, for your instant gratification of pleasure. Okay. And again, it's only a matter of time before guys, start waking up and they start to really, balance that life out a little bit better. But all I'm trying to get you guys to understand is, if you do got a good one though, keep her, bro. Okay. Because I promise you, you're not going to go find something that's better. Okay. You're not going to go find something that's easier. You're not going to go, bro. It's very rare, and it's no disrespect to women, but it's very rare to find a woman, bro, who is tapped in, who is in tune, who's worked on herself, who's in control of her emotions. All right. That is going to have your best interest, even in her worst day. Okay. And again, until you find something like that, man, I would just recommend you guys to stay on your path of semen retention and celibacy, bro, because at the end of the day, all that's going to do, man, I promise you, from the stories that I've been through to the people that I know, all that's going to do is cause you headaches, because 99%, bro, of the modern women, bro, the modern women, not all women, the modern women, okay, they're out here doing the most. Okay, they're out here cheating, bro. They're out here messing around. Okay, they're out here using men. Okay, they're out here having 2-3 different partners at one time. And this is what you're setting yourself up as a man. That's right, bro. Facts, Swayze. Swayze says, you don't know how far you've left the matrix behind till you link with your homeboys. And I agree that 100%. And, if I had some homeboys up here with me, man, I would be linking up with them. But there's so many fake people, man. Okay. There's so many people out here who are not serious about who they are. And one of the worst things that you could do that is just as risky as having a woman in your vicinity, man, who doesn't know herself, is having a weak homeboy with you. Okay. Because, they can set you up just as bad. All right. They can do you just as bad. Okay. My whole thing is this. You're right about that by having some good friends. Hopefully we all have some good friends. Hopefully you do have some real people that really have your back. And again, it's going to take a time of you being put to a test to see if that's really valid or not. Okay. Because most of us sit here and claim that we have best friends and we have the best girlfriends. But again, when the time comes right, people show their true colors. So I'm just hoping at the end of the day, you do have good friends out there as a man, because guess what? That is important. okay? Because you get to sit back, man, and you get to really tell the truth from a man's perspective, okay? You're gonna have somebody else, bro, that sees it the exact same way as you do, all right? And that could get you, that could keep, that could keep you out of a lot of trouble, okay? Trust me on that one. Patrick in the building, how you doing, bro? Says, you're right, Darius. I need to hear this live. It's like you're speaking to me directly, bro. Man, we all going through the same thing. We all going through the same thing. This is life, bro. We all going through the same thing. This is life, okay? All of us are going through the exact same thing as a collective, all right? This is why I'm hoping so many people are going to start to work on themselves and evolve. I'm really hoping the women start to work on themselves and evolve. Bro, I would give anything, man. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. I would give just about anything though, bro, to have a woman who is in tune with herself, to have a woman who can control her emotions, to have a woman, bro, who is going to, fight her demons as best as she can to ensure the prosperity of our relationship. I would give anything almost for that, bro. And I just seen it, man. Too many relationships, too many different problems, too many different people all have the same issue. Okay. And it isn't just what's happening in my life. Like I said, I look at everybody else's life as well. Okay. Friends to family, to people I know, to clients, bro. Everybody has the same story of something similar happening to them. And this is the whole reason, like I said, man, it's not that I'm not positive and I don't think positive about it, but I just know the way the society is going. And the way that society is going, society is forcing people to do a lot of things that they do not want to do. And this is one of the consequences, unfortunately, on what is happening between the dynamics of men and women in the modern day. Okay. Everything is going to be about what you can offer. Everything is going to be about the next best deal, the hypergamy. This is why I don't trust the relationships. And this is why I'm telling you guys, if you do have a good one, you better keep her. Because I promise you one thing. If you do have a good one, you keep her and she leaves you, imagine how bad that you're going to be. Imagine how down bad that you're going to be. You need to understand, bro, as a man, it is more of a risk for you to take on the responsibility of a woman than it is for a woman to take on the responsibility of a man. Okay. Once she leaves you, she can go and get into another relationship. Someone is going to take care of her fresh off of her crawling out of your bed. Do you understand that? I don't think you understand what I said. Someone is going to deal with her fresh out of crawling out of your bed. Okay. It is highly unlikely for you as a man to be able to recover, to go out there, to be able to have things already on the side going for you, bro, when a woman decides to leave the relationship. Okay. This is what I want you guys to weigh out and understand on why it's a risk for you in every single form of fashion, bro, because it is. All right. It is. I know. I've looked at it, man. I've broken it down. I've tried to have it the best way I can, man. But guess what? You can't. Okay. It's always going to cause you some sort of issue, some sort of problem. It's going to drain some sort of energy from you. And you need to understand, man, that you have to protect yourself, especially today, bro. There's no joke out here in 2026, man. Okay. All it takes is one bad relationship. All it takes is one bad woman, bro. And you're going to lose everything you got. You're going to end up in jail, bro. You're going to end up behind bars, bro. You're going to end up getting a girl pregnant, bro, who doesn't even care about you. Okay. Who sought you out just as somebody that is going to be a provider. And now she don't put you into the system, bro. And now you can't even see your offspring. Okay, now your offspring's being used against you. Now you're being held by your balls, bro, because the system is set up for that. This is all I'm trying to get you guys to see. I'm trying to get you guys to understand, man, that this is the responsibility that we have to take as men. Okay, you guys need to understand, man. We don't need to be out here thinking with our lower head no more, bro. Okay, we got to understand, man, that we've had our time. We've had our fun. We've had our golden years. Okay, we've had our time to be young, dumb.
okay, and ignorant. We didn't understand that we were watching the corn. We didn't understand we were watching inversion stuff on TV, okay? We didn't understand that we were touching ourselves and doing something that's degenerate. We didn't understand that we was releasing our life force energy, what is what keeps us alive. We didn't understand all of that. Okay. But now that we are awake and aware, we have matured. We understand now what we're doing as men, and we understand that those things are not safe. This is the time that we need to be honing in, bro, and understanding that this outside world is setting this up for us as men. And we got to get some balls back about ourselves. Okay. We got to get some courage back about ourselves, man. We got to get our swag back. Okay. We got to bring the balance back. And the only way we're going to do that, bro, like I said, the only way we're going to do that is become real men again. We got to stop giving away our juice. We got to stop giving unworthy people attention, okay? We got to stop, man, keeping this system afloat by being ignorant, by playing into the system, okay? Because there is no more games anymore, bro, okay? If the girl ain't right for you, don't be messing with her, okay? I want to tell you this one little quick story before I get out of here. I'm going to tell you why this is important. So back in college, okay, there was this guy that I used to hang out with. He used to play football. Okay, I ain't going to give no names. He was a brother, though. He used to we used to play football together. Okay, he was a really handsome dude. Okay, this dude could probably get, you know, in a real world, because I can't say that in the modern world. We understand that everything's set up off a race. We understand that the race of people is made to look worse than another race of people. If you really look at it under a close microscope, if you really were to judge it without no, you know, stereotypical goggles, okay, there wouldn't be, you know, no hate on either side. Okay, people will be able to be out here and equally be able to date. But because of the way the society is set up, there's going to be a group of people out here based on their skin color, okay, based off the structure of society and the stereotypes that have been put out in society, that are not going to have it as good as the other races of people have it. These are just the facts. And that's unfortunate that people out there are so low vibrational and so low and insecure, okay, that they feed into that stereotype and they don't go out here and date people and love people for who they are instead of who they're being forced to like. That is a shame, okay? But this guy, like I said, he's a brother, good-looking brother, sharp-looking brother in college, man. And there's this chick that I had met my second year of college. I told you guys I used to go out to parties all the time, and I used to be one of those guys too. I wasn't a person that slept around. I was never one of them, but I was one of them guys that would try to find a girl that I could just mess with. We all did that as guys, okay? And there was this one time my sophomore year, I met this girl at a party, okay? I was, you know, just like everybody else, hanging out super late, trying to find a straggler. And that's exactly what I found. But let me tell you this story. So I was hanging out late and I found this straggler, bro. I end up walking her home and we end up coming back to my apartment, okay? We get in my apartment, okay? We end up laying in the bed, okay? This girl was not even that attractive to me. I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, okay? She wasn't even that attractive to me. And I was thinking low vibration. I was low frequency back then. I was a depleted coomer, bro. Okay, I used to be on my ashy kneecaps, okay, once or twice a day, okay? I ain't going to lie to you, all right? So I had this girl back at my apartment, and we're sitting here laying on my bed. And I started taking off her clothes. And when I took off she had some cut off shorts on. And I grabbed her shorts and I pulled her cut off shorts down. And as soon as I pulled her cut off shorts down, I had the worst smell, bro, that I've ever smelled in my whole entire life. This is the first time I ever smelled a girl, bro, who had a stanky box. Okay. I'm keeping it real with you, okay? This is the first time, bro, I ever smelt a girl with a stanky box. I didn't know how to react, bro. It was the worst smell, bro, ever, okay? So I took her pants off, okay? And by the time I already had them off, I pushed those legs open and that smell just came up, bro. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like I'm sitting here, I literally in my bed, bro, lights off. I have some slow music playing, bro, and I got her pants off, bro, and I got her legs spread, and it's just this funkiest, foulest smell, bro, that I can't even deal with. Okay. And at that point, man, I just kind of like froze up. I'm keeping it really real with you guys, man. I just froze up. I'm like, how am I going to get out of this one? So she's, kissing on me and stuff because I just froze up. All of a sudden, I just stopped. I was kissing on her, touching on her, and then as soon as I smelled that, I just froze up, bro. So she knew that, and she started kissing on me and stuff, and I just kind of like act like I wasn't interested, bro. I literally just kind of just turned my back on this chick, and once she started rubbing on my back and stuff, trying to get me to turn around. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get this girl in my room, but I got to get her out of my room. And I just ignored her. And so I started ignoring her. And once I started ignoring her, she kind of, chilled and laid on her back. And when she laid on her back, I grabbed her pants and I literally put her pants up on her and told her I got tired. I told her she needed to go and I pushed her out the door. Okay. Now here's what I want to tell you. About 3.5 months later, okay, about 4 months later, I decide to go out to another party. Okay. I go out to a party. I'm hanging out late. Okay. I get to this party. And when I'm there, I see that same chick. Okay. And I'm trying to avoid her like the plague. Okay. So I'm standing over in the corner by myself. And who do I see? I see my brother that I told you that plays on the football team. He comes walking in, bro. And he's walking in looking all fly and shit. And he locks eyes with this girl, right? He's locking eyes with her and they're talking and stuff. And I'm like, I hope this dude does not take this girl home, man, because he has no idea what he's about to get. Okay. Now, long story short, this dude, okay, ended up getting this girl pregnant, bro, and ended up having a baby with her. Okay. I kid you not, bro. This guy ended up sleeping with this girl, bro, and got this chick pregnant. Okay. And this is what I'm talking about, man. This is what I want you guys to see. This is how men are thinking. This is the trap that you're going to be setting yourself up for when you're out here in 2026, bro, and you're out in those streets and you're seeking to get something, man. This is what you're going to get, bro. This is what's going to happen to you. Okay. Now this dude, bro, done got a baby by this girl. Okay. And you already know why the number one reasons why that woman was smelling like that, because she is a type of girl that just comes home with dudes at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, lays up in their bed and lets them gut dive. Okay. This is why. This is what I'm proving to you guys. Okay. This is how you know if you're going to be one of those guys out there who are going to get caught up in this situation, because you thinking with your lower head. You guys don't seem to understand that this is still going on today. And you're going to be just like him. Okay. Getting a girl pregnant that you're not interested in. Okay. Getting a girl pregnant, bro, that you had no business even laying with, but you were so low vibrational, bro. Okay. You were so caught up in the lust. All right. You end up creating a life now with this woman who you don't like, okay, who obviously has been messing around with different types of guys, and now you're going to be dealing with this person for the next 18 years of your life. And let me tell you what I seen about 7 or 8 years later. So 7 or 8 years later, I see him at the bar, okay? He's not with her. Okay, he's not with her anymore. And I end up seeing her again, okay, around that same time, and she's not with him, and she doesn't let him see his little one. Okay, so this is all I'm trying to prove to you guys. I'm trying to show you, man, that this is what you're setting yourself up for. Okay, just because you can't control yourself, bro, you're gonna go out just like some of these other dudes, man. I done seen the best of them, bro. Go out like some suckers, man. Okay, because they can't control themselves. I done seen the best of them, bro, go out here and make decisions like that, and now are living with things, man, they're gonna haunt them for the rest of their life. And this is all I'm trying to tell you guys, man. I've had a lot of experiences in life. I've seen a lot of things. And if I could teach you something in this thing called life, man, this is just develop this thing called patience, bro. Okay. Develop the hold your seed, even if that means, man, that you got to come off your streaks every now and then in silence and not tell nobody, and you just want to release yourself. You do the best that you can do. Okay. What I don't want you to do, man, is I don't want you to be out here in these streets, okay, opening yourself up for all these problems that society is trying to get us trapped up in, man, because they have rigged the system. Okay. This is all there is out there for us men. You got to understand, these are the type of the people that we're going to be dealing with based off the way our society is set up. You're going to be getting women just like this by the droves, bro. Okay. Because like I said, they done been through the ringer. This is our society. And the best thing that I want you guys to do is to continue to be smart, protect your seed, man, protect your energy so you can avoid all of these problems. So that's all I'm trying to tell you guys, man. I appreciate you guys that came up in here tonight. Your boy's about to get up out of here. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I appreciate everybody that came up in here, man. I will talk to all you guys on the next ones. You guys stay safe. I love you guys. Peace, my guys.
On who? On me.
Activate the Shave Line King.
You are now listening to Beantown Beats. You are now listening to Beantown Beats. You are now listening to Beantown Beats. You are now listening to Beantown Beats.
You are now listening to the Shave Line King Radio, the realest retainer in the game. You are now listening to the Shave Line King Radio, the realest retainer in the game.
Thank you. I have been called bad before. Many have said I do things that are not correct to do. I don't believe in such talk as this. I am nice man with happy feelings all of the time. First, a joke. What do you get when you cross an owl with a bungee cord? My ass. Enough!